They have only attorneys now.
We should try to get into this business.
No kidding. No kidding. This we're going to we're not even going to have cameras in here anymore. We're just going to have one lawyer and give them Ethan Klein's Instagram. I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. They have only attorney.
So basically implying that he could sue Ethan Klein and make a decent chunk of change off of it.
Yeah, 100%, because of how often Ethan, talks about them and responds to them and all that shit. Let's take a look here at what Ethan says in response, of course, on Instagram stories.
No kidding.
Ethan says, "Hey Sam, who retweeted this? If you think I'm defaming you, then sue me. Although I've seen the coward you've turned into, so that won't happen. Ask Matt, how many civilians were killed by the IDF on October 7th on air?" And he's referring to this tweet here, which the Majority Report account apparently reposted from that dude Lee Carter. I'm sure they didn't know anything about Lee Carter. They probably just assumed it was a random tweet. But it says small arms don't do that kind of damage to vehicles. How many were killed by the IDF on October 7th? So it's a pretty innocuous tweet. It's not even like that intense of a tweet. But he's acting like this is some huge gotcha, this huge scandal. And he's been going back and forth online with Matt Leck. We can pull those tweets up, accusing Matt Leck of being the one who reposted it, to which Matt responded, "I don't even fucking control that account."
Which is true. I already know that for a fact about Matt. I know the name of I'm not going to say, but I know there's another person that works for the Majority Report that handles that, because we've reached out to Matt in the past and he'd be like, "Oh no, that wasn't me. I wouldn't have done that." But you know what I mean? He's not going to throw his boy under the fucking rug, under the bus right now. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be that kind of a guy and be like, "Blame this asshole instead of me." But right. It is totally a lie what Ethan said right there.
Either way, as I said, Ethan has also been attacking Matt Leck because of this stupid retweet, as you said, or as he said. Matt Leck is 100% the person who wrote that. I know because I DM'd Sam to ask why the fuck he would post something so insane. He explained it was Matt and made the bitch delete the tweet. This dude was accusing the IDF of killing the most civilians on October 7th. While it was still going down, IDF killed like 12 from friendly fire. He claims IDF helicopters were just mowing down Israeli civilians. He belongs to a special club reserved for the most psychopathic of conspiracy theorists and terrorist supporters. LOL. Matt Leck belongs to a special club reserved for the most psychotic conspiracy theorists and terrorist supporters. He finds himself in the company of Andrew Tate, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones. Matt Leck. Imagine trying to get anyone to believe that shit.
Yeah, this is pathetic. All he knows how to do is call the manager, bro. All he knows how to do is try and get somebody fired. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna say that they associate with all of these people." Meanwhile, this guy was just talking yesterday about how he wants to work on Kick, right? "Oh, I'm actually really interested in going on Kick and streaming on there." Meanwhile, that's Aiden Ross, best buddy of Andrew Tate. Big fan of Candace Owens, all these people that you can't stand, all these people that you think have a special place, and all. You were just trying to work with them, right? So this is called a tantrum. This is you trying to exercise power that you don't have, because Sam would never listen to you if you said to fire one of his employees. Are you fucking kidding? Let alone Matt Leck, who's worked on the Majority Report for like a fucking decade now.
Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous. So stupid. This might be the dumbest of all of the Ethan attempts to farm outrage over, edgy jokes or stupid fucking things taken out of context. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on. You're going to act like this dumbass retweet is somehow like, scandalous or offensive. It's not.
Yeah, and he's desperate for Sam to sue him. He would love that. He wants a legal battle. He wants something to draw attention back to his shitty, failing live stream, because nobody's watching it anymore.
Yeah.
Matt, who retweeted this. Yeah, literally the fucking social media guy. Matt is the audio producer and the fucking showrunner, okay? Yeah, I don't tweet from that account. Yeah, I know for sure he doesn't tweet from that account. But the reality is that he's just desperate for engagement. He can't farm enough engagement from Hassan anymore. He can't farm enough engagement with his battles that he's doing with all of the people who he's calling anti-Semites and all this shit. It's over for him. So now he has to come up with a new beef. He has to try and create controversy with the Majority Report again. But if we play this clip right here, Gavin, I think we're going to really reveal what's going on. So I saw this the other day and I was like, I have two big theories about this.
But I assure you, trust the plan And also, we're at the point where we all need a change. So like, although you might not like it, you have to trust that in the long run, this is better, because otherwise, the show, we were getting burned out, right? So it is a necessity, which is what I've said. That's when I make all these big changes in my career. They've been from a place of necessity, and people always. I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know how upset people are.
And for context, he's telling everybody that they're going to stream like 2 days a week now for everybody and one short stream for members, right? Which is a big step down from what they normally do.
Yeah, 100%. And after we finish this clip, we can take a look at the way his audience responded to that news.
They're really happy.
Yeah, they love it.
Well, that's okay.
They're like, wow, this is fucking fantastic news.
So
it's finally, I've been waiting for this.
Love tomatoes.
For
a lot
years.
of love
Listen, I
tomatoes in
love
the
that
chat.
you guys love the show so much that the thought of getting less of it is such a devastating prospect, right? That means you really like the show, and that makes me happy.
Mhm.
So thank
I
you
think
for
it's going
that.
to downsize
But-
his production costs and potentially, do the show for cheaper, because there's no, like, as someone was pointing out the other day, how's he paying all these people? How's he keeping the ship afloat?
Oh, 100%. So that was my first. I think there's two things at play here. One, he can't afford to sustain the show at the rate that they're doing. He's hoping that by recording less, he has to pay people less, and also potentially that more people tune in because there's less content coming out from H3, which is not going to happen, right? If people will watch you 3 days a week, the same people or less are going to watch you 2 days a week. You're not just going to double your numbers because you've cut back on the amount of work that you're doing. People actually like the regularity and the familiarity of having somebody with a consistent schedule that's there. Not every day. You don't have to be there every day, but 3 to 4 times a week. That's pretty standard for somebody that's in the streaming community, right? That's where you want to be hitting. So he can't afford to pay people. He's hoping that more people watch after he cuts back on the time, which I do not think is going to happen. Here's the other thing, and I'm sorry, I don't have evidence for this. This is an allegation. This is just my opinion, right? Okay, I'm not making any legal accusations, Ethan. I'm just saying, boy, this seems like the kind of thing that you would do if you were losing control of your drug addiction and you could not fucking sustain yourself on air for 4 days. You need less time on air, more time with your fucking addiction. He seems really erratic in this. He like can't get his thoughts out. He
Seems fucked up, bro.
he does. He seems like he's on fucking
Seems
drugs.
fucked up. Yeah, we've both been saying that for a while. I don't think it's really controversial to point out anymore. It is what it is. The dude seems fucked up. He seems massively fucked up. Let's take a look at the response from his audience to this news, because again, we've talked about how H3 is not exactly in a great place right now. It doesn't seem like a great time to piss off your audience in this kind of way. But someone says shorter shows will probably be the death of me. I'm one of the few people that still, wants to listen to this crap. I can't imagine wanting to watch more of this man. But apparently some people do in his community. It seems like, a lot of people think that, like, this person says, I'm down for whatever you guys do, but I think a lot of people love the lives for the raw, ridiculous energy. The topics meander, and it's a fun, chaotic energy. Edited videos are just so different and lack that in the moment spontaneity that everyone loves. And I agree with that. As someone who used to like H3, that was kind of the appeal, the rambling, spontaneity, the off the cuff humor, the lack of editing. That was the vibe. So I agree with this person, even though I don't, still like.
It's also kind of our vibe.
Yeah, exactly. That's totally our vibe. I think people definitely love that about us as well. So yeah, a lot of people, it seems like, they really like the 3+ hour podcast vibe. This guy says, damn, this sucks. I love the long shows. I put them on while gaming or doing work or chores. The chaos of the show is a massive part of its charm. Notice he says the chaos of the show is a massive part of the charm, not you constantly shitting on Hassan, which Ethan seems to think is what's the main appeal of his show, as demonstrated, Zach, by this bitch shit. He posted the first of these edited fucking videos, and guess what it is? Hassan Piker put my family in danger. I need your help to stop this terrorist, or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just bitch shit. He's just whining about Hassan, but now it's in edited form instead of in, rambling, chaotic live form. Now it's just him sitting here like a cold, sterile sociopath lecturing at you instead of joking around with all of his NPC, co-hosts.
I hadn't seen this yet, this new edited version. Now I'm 100% convinced it's drugs. It's 100% I'm sorry, guys, but if you don't want people to be able to judge you by any of your fuck ups that you do, if you cannot sustain a 3.5 hour live stream without going on some sort of like cracked out like nap, I don't know, he just breaks and he like kind of zones out, and it is very clearly like this guy's not getting a little stoned before he goes live. Like he's doing something else, right? He's not even having a couple cocktails before he goes live. Like I think that he is medically altering his brain.
You think
in
it's
a way.
Adderall? Because I think
it's
Ritalin.
Adderall, some sort of a stimulant like
Yeah.
amphetamine
Yeah.
adjacent. That's the read I get. And trust me, guys, we can spot our own. All right, I used to take fucking amphetamine salt every single fucking day. All right, I know what that shit could do to you if you abuse it. It's not
You're
good
like,
for you.
trust me, I'm on it. I'm on Adderall right now. I can spot my own.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is me when I'm not on Adderall. You guys should see me when I'm on Adderall. It's a fucking trip, Gavin.
Yeah, we both had to leave that behind a long time ago, back in our college days.
100%.
But we both know what it's like, and we can sense when someone else is on it for sure.
Yeah, you just say a bunch of stupid shit that nobody cares about, and you weren't thoughtful about it, and you're rambling, and you're just hearing the sound of your own voice, and you look like that meme of the guy that's pointing at a bunch of shit on a fucking chalkboard, and it's incoherent. It's nonsense. It's not the same thing as the chaotic, magic of live broadcast, which is what he used to offer people, right? Like his creativity, the fact that he was in the moment very funny and quick-witted. These things are disappearing and people can tell. So what's he trying to do? He's trying to create a more polished, a more hyper-edited product for people so that they don't notice that he's slipping on his game.
Totally. And I think it's a bad move too, because it's like, it's one thing if you can kind of make humor out of the Hassan beef, because then if you're just an apolitical normie watching, doesn't really matter what you think about the substance of the conflict. You can kind of just sit back and enjoy the ride about the drama and the beef and the jokes and the shit talking. It's fun, right? But as soon as you take all that fun away from it, and now we just have, again, this sterile setting where Ethan is like, talking about how bad this is and basically woke scolding Hassan for a joke. It's just not funny anymore. You take away all of that humor and all of that fun, and it just feels like this weird guy who's like, you need to be taking this seriously. My family's in danger because this guy made a joke. And as it says here, someone says, I don't know why, but this format feels like seeing my teacher outside of school. So it's like, yeah, it's just weird. It's awkward. It's unnatural. Again, the only way that it's even remotely palatable to watch Ethan Klein do a whole segment about Hassan Piker is if it's off the cuff and has some humor and stuff. And not even then, it's not even bearable then. But I'm just saying, to a normie, someone who's just randomly tuning in, if you take that element away, yeah, no one gives a fuck, bro. No one gives a fuck about Hassan making a joke about your stupid fucking IDF wife. I'm sorry.
100%. And it looks like he's had to come back and renegotiate with his audience because they were so pissed. He says, proposition, we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but Wednesday is for members, ? And then he says, okay, 3-hour episodes on Monday, Friday, and regular Wednesday episode, but for members, and it's 2 hours, deal. So basically he's trying to negotiate with people because they're so overwhelmingly pissed off. And here is a Reddit thread that was popping off that kind of reflects the sentiment of, I think, a lot of the people who are left in the H3 community. And notice how he has to cloak it with peace and love all the time, so he doesn't just instantly get banned by one of the people who can't handle any criticism towards Ethan. With peace and love, just canceled my 3-year membership. I don't mean to be pessimistic about the new format, but when we had 4 live shows a week at 3 hours long, the membership price felt justified. Now it does not. I can see the benefit to the short form videos on controversies involving Hassan. So, for example, the crew is not flamed for the lack of comment on what topic. However, the long form content is why I enjoyed the membership. It made sense to me to pay for getting 10+ hours of content a week, but now I can't justify paying for less than half of that. I'm glad that Ethan and the crew have more time off and less burnout. And of course, I'd rather have the new format than no show at all. As a formerly paying member, just wanted to give my feedback on it with peace and love. Ultimately, it's Ethan's show and he can do whatever he thinks is best for himself and the crew. But after 3 years of membership payment, almost $300 and $200 for 2 live shows I attended, I figured I'd voice my complaint with peace and love. And then he said, edited to add, I've had Redditors send chats to warn me that they were permabanned from subreddit for complaining about the change. Mods, please don't ban me. I'm still going to watch the show, and I'm not a hater. I just wanted to voice my personal opinion. Nobody owes me anything. Peace and love, mods. So seems like a really healthy thing going on over there with the H3 community, but also just that his audience is unsatisfied with the change.
walk out the door, if you hear an ambulance, the Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there.